There are a lot of directors that you know that you hate. A lot of people hate Lars von Trier because of his treatment of women. A lot of people hate Larry Clark because of the way he eroticizes teens. But there are some directors whose work is anonymous, and you would have to look on the IMDb or have an encyclopedic brain to really understand, oh my goodness, you hate these guys because they made so many terrible films. The first one for me, or my example, is Brian Robbins. Brian Robbins started as an actor. You might remember him from the 80s sitcom Head of the Class. He was a cool kid.
So easy to walk all over him, I feel it's my duty.
And then he sort of moved on to directing, and he cut his teeth on a lot of sports movies that people don't remember or shouldn't remember. And then he hooked up with Eddie Murphy for a little movie called Norbit. Norbit stars Eddie Murphy in multiple roles. He plays a character named Rasputia.
What y'all looking at? I ain't had no cake.
She's over 300 pounds. She's mean, and she, in one scene, demands to go on this water slide. Then something pretty funny happens.
Show you how bitch go down the slide.
It plays in the cheap seats. It's got a lot of broad jokes. There's some farting, I believe, a lot of gross out stuff.
I haven't seen this movie. I guarantee you there is fart jokes. This one's not at the end of Eddie Murphy and Brian Robbins collaborating, though. They made another film called Meet Dave, in which Eddie Murphy plays a spaceship who looks like Eddie Murphy.
Blown out of my own nose!
It's all very confusing. That was not embraced in a Norbit-like fashion, however.
You look at Norbit's success and think, oh boy, where are we as a culture? And then Meet Dave comes out and tanks, and you're like, oh, okay, there are lines that people will draw.
The director I want to talk about shares Brian Robbins' love of putting famous comedians in fat suits. His name is Roger Gosnow, and he had a breakout hit with Big Mama's House, starring Martin Lawrence as an FBI agent who has to go undercover as an obese grandmother.
Big Mama could never forget that ass.
That's not the movie I want to talk about, however. I want to talk about Beverly Hills Chihuahua. All of us remember where we were when the trailer for Beverly Hills Chihuahua first hit the internet.
The biggest Chihuahua movie, oh yeah, of all time.
It kind of looked like the end of movies entirely.
Hey, talk to the paw.
It's cute animals doing cute things, which I have a soft spot for, but, everyone likes candy. Here's a whole bag full of it, cinematically speaking.
Say hello to my little friends.
What does the future hold for Mr. Raja Gosnow?
Well, I like to hold out hope for even, people who have not done good work in the past, and I think really his next film, The Smurfs, might actually turn it around. Nathan, you've chosen a director as well. Does it keep with the pattern? Is it someone who likes fat suits and fart jokes?
There is only one other filmmaker who enjoys those sorts of things and is pandering and terrible. I'm talking, of course, about Tom Shadyac. Shadyac started off with Jim Carrey. He directed Ace Ventura.
Do not go in there.
Woo! Like the other directors, he just kind of kept failing upwards. He did Liar Liar. He did Bruce Almighty. But probably his worst film, and the film he's best known for, is Patch Adams. Robin Williams plays sort of a very depressed doctor who is put into a mental hospital. And what he discovers when he's in the mental hospital is that it's a very depressing place. So he goes about changing that with sort of his comical antics.
Who likes to masturbate?
It just kind of epitomizes the Shadyac touch, combining really horrible, badly conceived slapstick.
Got a boner.
And just the most rank kind of sentimentality.
It also sounds like he is accustomed to taking a star who likes to improvise in an unfunny fashion and letting him go.
Let's get ready to party!
Well, the thing about Patch Adams, too, is he was a fascinating figure. I mean, he was a real guy, he was a political activist, and they completely scrubbed all of the politics from this, because that's something that's a little tricky. That's something that may not, appeal to the broadest possible audience. And I feel like what all these filmmakers share is that they care about nothing but.
Who's party? Beat it!
For more directors you didn't know you hated, log on to avclub.com.
trying to kill you. There's got to be some way to attack, right? Well, sometimes when you... You know what's bullshit? Packaging. You rip open a package and it takes a shit all over your hands. What is this shit? It gets all over the place and it flies in the air. Oh, God. It sticks to my fucking clothes, too. Who invented this? Who thought it would be a good idea to have a package that you can't open without having a vacuum cleaner ready? Why is this so common? In fact, film festivals hate this. Every application I've ever seen says, please do not submit films in fiber-filled envelopes, because nobody wants this garbage. So then why do we use it? Fiber-filled envelopes need to be abolished. Another thing I hate is packing peanuts. Isn't that fun? You open a box only to have it explode into a hailstorm of styrofoam. It sticks to everything. I feel like I'm being attacked. I try to be careful and not let much of it spill outside the box, but it's impossible when you have to dig in there just to get your stuff. All for that? Packing peanuts belong to the fucking dark side. There's no good reason to use them. They're not environmentally friendly, and if you have cats or dogs, you gotta hurry and clean it up before they eat it and choke. As a human race, we really failed when it comes to mailing things. Let's use newspaper and bubble wrap. That doesn't make a mess, and you can use it over and over again. Fiber-filled envelopes and packing peanuts come from the depths of hell. Take it from a man whose face is made of bullshit. That's bullshit! Wally Bear and the No Gang. Now, the first thing that baffles me about this game is the actual cartridge. I mean, look at this. It doesn't look like any other NES game. And what's this button for? Press here? Seriously? Press here? What for? I mean, is it supposed to be telling you how to push the game down, like how to put the game into the system? Well, I can't really push on it when it's inside the Nintendo. You know, do they really think kids are that stupid? I mean, it should just say, press here, you dumb fuck. Like some kid's going to be like, how do I put the game in? So anyway, we start off with the title screen of a deformed bear with sunglasses riding a skateboard, a stereotypical anti-drug corporate waste of imagination. You can choose between 1 and 2 players, if you're lucky enough to have a friend who would actually play this piece of shit with you. Okay, here's the plot. You're the ultra-hip skateboard schmuck Wally Bear. Your Uncle Gary Grizzly wants you to gather up your straight-edge friends and head over to his house for a party. Wally must reach his uncle's house before dark, or at least before the timer runs out, for he loses all his lives. But every bird and attack dog on the block wants you dead, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that besides just jump for your life. You can get items like pizzas, frisbees, or hubcaps to throw at enemies. And you can't really hit birds because they just dart across the screen. Now, why would a bird want to kill a skateboarding bear anyway? The levels are just incredibly repetitive. Like, literally, the same backgrounds are used over and over again, kind of like in a Flintstones cartoon. If you notice, during a driving scene. It's just the same stuff in the background.